Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Carter Story Podcast and I'm your host Jeff JJ. And guys, before we start this episode, I want you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, like it and give us your comments. Today I want us to talk about generation, emerging issues passing down in different generations, starting from Gen X, baby boomers, we have millennials, we have Gen Zs, we have Gen Alphas, and right now we have also Gen Beta. We will be discussing and breaking down some emerging issues down into pieces, and that's why I invited my guest here, Madam Cindy. Cindy, you can say hello to them.
Hi guys, my name is Cindy, Sarah Cindy. I am happy to be here and we'll be breaking down the topics that he has said. Yeah.
So I want us to know a little bit about Cindy before we dive deep into this topic.
Okay, my name is Cindy. I'm transitioning into my 4th year, currently doing journalism and communication studies at the University of Nairobi. I'm majoring in broadcast, so being in front of the camera is not something that I'm not inanishtua sana.
Kuna watu wengine wakisikia tu kamera, hey! Usinirecord mimi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And I'll not say I'm so perfect, but I am comfortable in front of the cameras and I am ready to break down these topics. I also like talking about emerging issues, you know, developmental issues that really affect our society, because we find that not a lot of people are bold enough to actually step up and talk about these things. So I enjoy platforms like this. Yeah.
What does it take to be in front of a camera?
I don't think it takes much.
Talk to this shy guy. This shy guy need to know this thing.
You shy guy and you shy lady, it doesn't take much to be in front of the camera. It's actually within you. The fear, the anxiety and now, it's all in your head. Once you stand mbele ya camera, everything flows and everything is just perfect. And when you try it once, trust me, it's addictive. You learn to be in front of the camera every time.
Every time.
Ukiona camera unataka.
Yeah. Okay, Cindy, I want us to talk a little bit about some emerging issues that has been happening right now, the way we view maybe say the world. For example, mini Gen Z is very different from the way, let me say, the Gen X, our parents were viewing it. Our experience right now is very different from their experience. Even back then you find out that the age of adolescence was a little bit, for a lady to be mature, it used to take time. Even their body used to, for it to change, it used to take time. But with now, you find out even some of ladies want to experience your menstruation period very early, different from our parents back then. So right now, a lot of things are happening and are continuing to happen. So one of the areas that I really wanted us to talk about to start with is basically on employment sector. This is a major issue that I really want us to start with. And there are a lot of things that we will talk about it, but first of all, I want us to talk about the employment sector. Right now, Gen Z wanasema ati hakuna job. Wanaenda shule, they're doing well in school, they're getting good grades, they're graduating, but after that you find out that sasa kutafuta kazi ni kazi. So kama for example we kama Gen Z, I know these are some of the things that you're facing right now or that are ahead of you. How much are you prepared to face this challenge?
Okay. Kenye umesema ni ukweli about us being different in the way we think and the way we do things and even the way things are actually affecting us. I think the generations that came before us, the ones who came before the millennials, they're the Gen X, right?
The Gen X.
Yeah, the Gen X, the ones that came before the millennial. Most of them walikaa wakaona wazazi wao wakifanya kazi because that was the only way to live. Those are the baby boomers now. The ones who kina Mau Mau, the ones who fought for our independence. The only way to get out of it, to get out of the hood was kufanya kazi, right? So these people literally worked, but it was the physical work. And then as we are continuing to evolve, as the world is continuing to evolve, tunapata a lot of factors zinakuja ku affect the way we work and even the way we think. My very first time coming across a laptop was through my dad. My dad is a Gen X. You've just let me know that now.
Gen X.
Yeah, my dad was a Gen X.
I'm going to give you the age difference there on the screen so that you'll be aware of
msikue kama mimi nimejua sasa babangu ni Gen X.
Which age is Gen X and which age is Gen Z and millennials. I'm going to let you know about that.
Okay, so the first time me seeing a laptop was my dad working on a laptop. That is me saying that the generation yenye ilikuja kabla yeye, they were really hands on. Literally everything was manual. And then sasa wao ndio wako introduced to things like laptops and computers and printers and stuff. So it continues to evolve that way. So I wouldn't want to say this as an offense to the Gen Z, but we kind of came kama vitu zimeanza kutulia. As in the workload was not that much. We didn't grow in an environment yenye lazima ufanye kazi ndio ifanyike. We used to see our parents on their phones and on their laptops, and we thought, oh, they're so cool. And then we started getting exposed to these devices early. So tukiendelea ku grow, we don't really have the zeal or the passion to want to work. Because I've come across a couple of, I'm in many groups za watu wanatafuta kazi, and even for people who like, when they come across opportunities, they send them to me. So now when they come to the group and they're like, huyu mtu alikuja kuniomba kazi, naona vile anaongea. Mtu anakuja, they don't even know the proper way of addressing someone when you want a job. And maybe kama ushapata kazi and then umesikia ikichoka. Guys, by the way, it's proper that kama umechoka na kazi, kindly just write that resignation letter.
Hey.
It doesn't cost you anything.
Resign.
Yeah. Be courteous enough to write.
Siku hizi nasikia kama jinsi kama wadai kazi
ati unatoka
wanapotea tu.
Unaacha kuonekana for 1 week, wanakuuliza wanasikia yule alienda. It's not proper, by the way.
But they prefer that one. They are like, hizi mambo zenu. Even right now, if you check out mambo za employment, ati agencies hawataki ati unatuma CV, unatuma sijui nini, wanataka ati wewe Kenya unaniuliza ni portfolio. Nilete portfolio tuanze kazi. Hiyo mambo za sijui the reason as why I want to apply this job,
application letter nini. So that is exactly my point. Sisi tulikuja tukapata kama vitu haziko as harsh as they used to be on our parents. So we kind of expected when you're being welcomed into the work environment, itakuwa as easy as we had seen it while growing up. Kitu tumesahau ni the people who run this employment sector. Most of the people wenye huko mwenye ni top dogs, they are the millennials and the Gen X.
Right now I think Gen X wanaanza ku retire, but right now when you dominate sana ni millennials.
Yes. And the millennials don't tend to understand the way we think as Gen Zs and the way things run through our minds.
Millennials are right now from age 30 to 45, I think. But Gen Zs right now are from 14 to 29. So most of them hawaja access kazi.
Most of them bado hawaja access kazi. So I wouldn't like to say that Kenya hakuna kazi. Me, I still want to think that Kenya hakuna kazi.
Are you sure?
I mean, siwezi kuwa nasomea degree alafu
when watu wanabeba ma envelopes pale street za Nairobi wanasema ati akiwa nimepata kazi. Actually doesn't that kama hauna mtu hapo ndani then
that is also another issue, by the way. The fact that we need to have someone in this sector that we want to get in. By the way, it was a very discouraging point when I wanted to do journalism, because everyone was like, uko na godfather, uko na mtu kwa hiyo sector ya journalism, and I was like, hapana, me I'll just go and do it because I want to do it. So that is the kind of thinking that I'm talking about, because my parents won't understand why I want to do a job, kwanza journalism, a job that is very degraded in the Kenyan industry. Kila mtu atakuuliza, Lulu na Hassan wamekaa TV miaka ngapi, unataka kuingia? Koinange amekaa mpaka anazoekea Citizen, unataka kuingia ufanye. So things like that. So my parents won't understand why I want to do that when I know pretty well that sina mtu kwa journalism sector, but I'm here anyways.
I think it's very hard. Do you think it's only in journalism sector? I think it cuts across.
It cuts across. That was my example.
Every place is flooded right now. For you to get that job, you have to
know someone inside.
But now, how do you think Gen Zs are going to navigate? Because at long last we have to survive. One way or the other, we have to survive. Do you think there are some of the things that Gen Z should start to embrace as early as possible to ensure that one way or the other now they survive? Because now this is the reality. To find it is very hard. There are jobs, right? But now to access it is very, very hard.
It's very hard.
So that means that as human beings, that we always have that instincts to survive. What are some of the things that we should now start to develop or to start to just for survival purposes? What are some of the things that you propose that as Gen Zs we should start to develop or to embrace as early as possible?
I think it's just basically about being courteous. Millennials would call it discipline. Core discipline in the field that we already chose to be. It's never too late to start. Just the consistency eventually pays out, because I've realized also that Gen Zs are the generation in most of us, we come up with our own ideas and we start our own businesses and companies and stuff. So consistency is one of the major things, because sitaka hapa and I'll want to do broadcast journalism, I'm shooting content and then I give up and I want people to notice my content. Itabidi ni ya kila siku. If I want to post on Monday, it's every Monday. If I want to post Monday and Thursday, it's Monday and Thursday. before. So consistency is one of the things I would say. And also, once you have decided to come into one sector of the sector that you want, kama ni your career choice sector, that is, kama umeshaamua you want to be there, one thing you can do is one thing you can do about being in that sector is really loving it and having the passion for it, because that will drive you so far. Hiyo itakuwa your point of like reference for a lot of things. Another thing is making interactions. You never know who you meet. You never know who you meet.
But some people do underrate. Hey, huyu jamaa ama wana underestimate. Wakiona huyu jamaa wanasema huyu jamaa anaweza ni save kweli. But you never know anyway.
You don't even have to be like wewe ndio mtu unaenda kuokoa mtu, hata unaweza okolewa.
Yeah.
If you are into finance, ukisikia event yenye kuna accounting, you go there, meet people, speak to people. You never know who someone is. Someone can be handling 3 jobs na anataka umsaidie kwa hii moja yenye ni account, because there are people who handle various. Unajua kuna degree 7. Yeah, mtu ako na degree in law in
hapo kuenda kunini kidogo tumekanyagia introverts. Introvert anasema ati mimi nitoke kwa nyumba.
No, like go and socialize. When you hear about an event and unaona itakubenefit, kindly go and socialize.
Be a go-getter.
Yeah, be a go-getter. Hakuna mtu atakuja knock kwambia, Jeff, kuna kazi hapo unaweza taka. No one will ever do that for you. Lazima wewe ndio you are going out there. Ukisikia an event, you never know, like you literally never know who you will meet in these events, and you never know if this person will even talk to you. Yeah, so when you get the chance, just say hi, learn to interact with people, especially when you wako kwa class, when you wako kwa the same career path as you. Yeah, that would be very nice.
So kwa wale watu wenye wanalilia connection, you can just create connection.
You can create, si lazima uingie kwa industry upate connection. Yeah.
You can just create it among yourselves. Wewe na ile best yako, you never know. Yeye ndiye anaweza connect. And that's all. So right now sasa tukiingia kwa hiyo bado kwa hiyo employment kama we Gen Z, si ndio? Like umekuwa employed. In most cases you find out, if you do your analysis, you find out that right now kama umekuwa employed most of the time inakuanga maximum salary inakuanga 20 to 30. So ukikuwa employed and most of them, now let's say the majority of them are running at 15,000, 10, 15, kama ni mingi sana ni 20. But back home wakisikia tu Cindy amepata kazi. Hey Cindy, uko aje? Mimi ni mgonjwa, nataka unipeleke hospitali nini. Cindy, yule sibling yako amefukuzwa school fees. Sasa tunafanya aje? Cindy, nilikuwa nataka kwenda mahali lakini sasa nimekwama. Hebu nitume. Sina sapa leo. Tunafanya aje? And you also, kama we Cindy, most of the time kama sasa uko Nairobi, you know how Nairobi is. You have the issues of rent. Kama unataka kwenda mahali you have to travel.
Is fair.
Chakula lazima ununue. Sisi huko hakuna kubeba gunia kuweka pale kwa kona, gunia ya mahindi unaenda. You have to go and buy. Kama ni unga unaenda kununua. And how do you think now we are going to balance this? Because then again, if you stop, you call your parents and say, hey dad, sahi ni kubaya, mimi hiyo mambo ya kuwatumia pesa sahi mimi siwezi. Kuna kageti fulani kitaanza kukuingilia, unasema ati yenyewe sasa wazazi wataanza kuniona mimi ni mtu mwenye nakaaje, nimechange mind, certain kind of things. So how do you think Gen Zs are going to go about this? Because to face directly,
yes.
Yeah, hakuna kuepa. Like 90 to 95% of Gen Zs are into this. How do you think Gen Zs are going to survive this?
Okay, kabla tuingia hapo, let me say that I'm a firstborn, so I face this literally first hand.
Firstborn na lazima wanyoroshwe.
Secondly, umeenda mbali sana. It's not even about being employed. Hadi help. Hata help wakati imeingia. Help wanapiga simu. Help inaingia. And then my dad is in the government, so he knows when the funds have started being disbursed.
So nyinyi watu wa help mnaanza kunyorosha mapema.
Si tunaanzi wangu mapema. Okay, your question was how do we learn to balance this?
Yeah, because again parents wanaona kama retirement plan. And on the other side, you also have your own issues, economy ni mbaya, salary pia ni kidogo, rent pia unataka kulipa nyumba kama ni bed sitter, single room ama one bedroom, you want to live there, you want to buy your own things in that house. On the other side, vitu ziko hivi. And pia wewe unaona tu vizuri ati if I continue with this ati hii salary yangu ya 30,000 kutumana I'm going to end up being broke for a long time. If you look at it in a long term perspective,
yeah, if you look at it in a long
you
term
will not
perspective.
have that cash even to invest and all that kind of stuff. But then again, also you have to do this. So how do you think you are going to go about it?
That's a really tough question. Because I don't know how it works, but mine, I would say it depends on how close ama how well you get along with your parents. Because mtu kama mimi, I don't really like shutting up when I'm being oppressed. So for my case, I literally sat my parents down and I told them, look, napatanga 20,000. This 20,000 is supposed to hold me for 3 months. Because these 3 months samtaki kupigiwa simu. I have to make my own hair. I have to buy myself clothes na 20,000. Food iko hapo. Fare iko hapo.
Rent.
Rent. Those are all the things I need to cater for. Na hii help. Na bado pia nyinyi mnaitaka.
And emergency issues like simu yako imebreak.
Lazima uweke kando.
Stool yako imeharibika, unaenda kurepair. Okay.
And for some reason, I would really like to address the Gen X and the baby boomer. Wazazi wetu. Tukienda Nairobi mwache kutusahau by the way.
Si wanasema, si unasikia wakisema ati huko ndio pesa inatengenezwa.
Sisi bado tujaanza kutengeneza so.
But Gen Zs are going to be very stubborn. You have to be ready for that.
Yeah, they also have to be ready. I just think we need to make our parents understand where we are coming from because I don't think it's really clear to them how the world works right now, especially kama ni watu wenye wana stay up country. The ones who are not really fully exposed. Hawaelewi that Nairobi rent is like, kwanza where I stay in CBD, rent can go up to, exactly. I don't even have to speak now. So yeye hataelewa that I pay up to double rent yenye mtu anaweza lipa or triple rent yenye mtu analipa hapa tukiwa nyumbani. So I think it's just
atakwambia ati si utafute nyumba ya mabati.
Yeah, like nitaishi aje kwa nyumba ya mabati Nairobi, si nitaibu hata mimi.
Hata wewe.
Watanibia vitu waniibe pia mimi.
Even your health condition is not going to be
because
okay.
Nairobi is like really scrambled. Like kila mtu ameng'ang'ania place ya kuishi. Ukitoa hivi kichwa kwa window unaona mtu akioga, ukiangalia hivi nje kwa mlango unaona mtu like
unaona mtu anaingia na mgeni.
Mtu anaingia na mgeni. It's a lot of things going on that they don't really understand. So I think number one is making them understand where you are coming from, but politely, my Gen Zs, politely. Msianze kuprotest kwa nyumba. They really know us for protesting. They are branding us by protesting. So I think ukiwakalisha chini and then you try to make them understand that is one, which I don't think it will be really effective, but that is the way.
But they say that sometimes they pretend not to understand. Like they know.
Yeah, they do know.
But they want to pretend not to understand. You know that those are like that. They will only understand only if they benefit from it. So for example, umeambia dada ati acha nikutumie hii 1k. Sasa ukimwelezea sasa anaanza sasa ana understand.
Anaanza
But sasa kama hujamtumia hiyo 1k unajieleza hapo hata understand.
I think kenye umesema ni ukweli and if that is how they want us to work, then that is how we work with them. Ukipata ka 20k kako rusha mzazi 1k mwambie ndio nimepata. I think for them it's about you trying or at least showing up even when hauna sana so that they know hiyo time utapata you still have their back. I think it's about that.
Do you think there's a strategy that we need to consider to make sure that we lower down my expenses?
The expectations za wazazi wana
hata achana na expectation because already wako na expectations. Wana expect we kama Cindy unaenda kuwa employed in some few years you are going to buy him a new car.
There's this last sibling of mine wamekuwa wakiniambia naenda kumsomesha so that is already there.
It's already there. So what are some of the things that we should consider maybe a strategy? For example, let me propose one. For example, you know right now mambo na health. Mujua health ikikuja kwa mzazi, that's a very big burden nyingine kubwa that you have to be called. So for me right now, though they are saying that SHA is not working, but I think kama wazazi wetu wanaweza ingilia kwa mambo ya SHA.
I think it does work.
It does work. If it works, then I think it will be better for them. So at least mambo na SHA hapo kwa health, you are not there. They can take care of it easily. Mambo na chakula, they always survive.
Yeah, they know how to survive.
They know how
Our
to
parents
survive.
are like farmers.
Yeah.
Ndio tulikuwa nasema hapo before that they learned manual work. Au si watu wanaogopa kwenda kwa shamba kama sisi. They literally have their own plants and my parents are also farmers. So hapo kando ya nyumba lazima kukwange na kashamba kadogo kasukuma ama nyumba ya kuku. So watu hawezi lala njaa.
Yeah, watu hawezi lala njaa.
Yeah.
But now for me, I think for this to change, it has to take on making difficult decisions. That I think some of them are not going to be pleasant to them, but at long last, I think for your own benefit, because come to think of it, you see, if you continue like the way they continue, so for them, they invested a lot of money to their kids so that they can take them to school and to make sure that their kids one time helps them. Because also you have to understand, if you look at down their generation, the Gen X, you find out that awalizaliwa ile time economy ilianza collapse. So you find out that hata kupata kazi ilikuwa ngumu, and that's why you find out that most of them are the entrepreneurs. If you look at the Juakali sectors, you'll find out that most of them ni Gen X. So that was their way out to survive. Walianza kusurvive kwa hiyo mambo ya hey, acha tuanze kazi yetu. Yeah, they had this slogan that no one is coming to save you. You better save yourself. So walianza kazi yao kivyao, walianza kuinstall ukiona Juakali garages. Most of them are owned by Gen X. But now it's a different case with us. Right now it is very hard even to own, even to buy a land where you want to set up your own business. It's very, very hard. So for them, they came up with this idea that acha tupeleke watoto yetu shule watatusaidia. But now it's different. Their kids are really struggling to find this job. And if their kids continue to fund them the way they expected, because though they spend a lot of their money on the kids, and they had no time to invest. But now then again, if you look at it, if their kids spend a lot of money on them, their kids are going to end up being like them. So there's something that has to be done, and it has to be a very hard decision to make. What do you think we should do?
I want to think of that as generational trauma, because they never really got the chance to be independent. They were working towards investing in their kids. Wako like huyo wakisoma mpaka afike university, mimi sitakuwa nalipa rent, mimi sitakuwa nafanya nini na nini. My retirement plan is on this kid. And then now, in a bid to like be comfortable for themselves, they are losing for themselves and also losing for their children, because the Gen Zs also don't get the chance to be financially independent. Once umekelewa hizo main responsibilities, you have your let's say you have your 30k or let's say 30k, that's a fair amount. Let's have you have your 30k, hapa ndo unafaa kutoa rent, food, clothes, emergency things.
Umjenge nyumba
na umbaie gari bado, and bado kuna yule sibling unafaa kusomesha. So it's a lot on our head, and I think if we are to take a strategy, it doesn't have to be comfortable. As long as it works, it doesn't have to be comfortable. Ikuwe tu ni yenye, I don't know if it's going to favor like both sides. But I just think it's we need to find something that kind of breaks the generational trauma, kind of inatuweka in a good place for ourselves, because once we are independent, I don't believe there's anyone mwenye mzazi atamuinvestia so much and then at the end of the day you forget your parents, like you always come back hata kama ni Christmas. Unakuja na tu shopping,
unakuja na bags ukikuja.
So we are also trying. We're also trying. They just really have to not really kushusha expectations, but like just cut them kidogo tu. Like
they lower down the expectations.
Gari na earn 20k per month. Because I also have to keep my savings for myself. Nyinyi at least if you're having working parents, at least they have somewhere they are sure they get their money, because ni watu wenye wamezoea your life right from the
actually that's a strategy. That's a very good strategy.
Right from the moment walikuzaa, they already had a plan for you. Walijua akifika we are supposed to save up for the time she's going to high school, school fees apanda and things like that. But us, we are still learning life from that point. And then they won't sit you down also and teach you about this is what you're supposed to do with your money, this is how you do this and this. It's these are things that tumekuja kujigundulia wenyewe. We see them on social media. We learn from kina, what is this guy's name?
You will never know how your kids will learn things. Utashtuka tu mtoi wako amejua vitu na
exactly.
Mtoi wangu amejua hii kitu aje. But so they do always know.
So that is how it is. You pointed out that it's a good strategy. I
think it's a good strategy. Itatusave at least, itatusave kidogo. But they're saying that Gen Zs are lazy.
No comment.
Gen Zs are lazy. Hao ma Gen Zs si kama sisi. Sisi kitambo tulikuwa tunafanya kazi mingi, sijui nini. Ma Gen Zs wanakaa tu kwa nyumba, kazi yao tu ni kufanya nini. Wanasema ati sisi ni lazy. But it's okay, we'll find out how to...
I think the way the world has evolved, and they are not really clocking into the way the world is currently changing, because kuna ile generation they had no phones kabisa, and then came the generation that had their phones but they were balancing between manual work and their phones, and then sasa si tumekuja tukapata kama the world is almost entirely digitized.
Yeah.
So everything we do is on our phone, and the beef between our parents and phones hiyo pia itabidi mmetuambia hapo kwa comments. If you are Gen X or a baby boomer watching this, mtuambie vita yenu na simu zetu zinakuanga nini? Zinakuaje? We literally get jobs on those phones. Like it's an easier way to communicate, but they still don't get that I can do anything through my phone or through my laptop. Wataona ni kama I'm just sitting and using.
For example, with the laptop, unaweza fanya mtu graphic design.
Exactly, things like that. Editing, I can edit and send you the work through like a Google Drive link. For them ilikuwa lazima uende kwake, sijui upload to a computer ndio umpatie.
Weke tape, unabeba tape kwa bag, unampelekea.
You know, things like that. Right now tunaweza upload kwa Drive. So I think they're also having a hard time adjusting to the way the world is changing and the way we have adapted quickly to the world.
It is moving very fast though.
Yes.
Yeah, so before we move into the next topic, guys, make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll really appreciate you comment, you give us your comments, and also you share this video with a friend. Gen Zs wanasema ati marriage bamba mafala. I think right now people are struggling. The way people are viewing a relationship right now, it's a little bit very different, because right back then you'll find out that for example, the voice ilikuwa maybe the man. Right now kila mtu dem anakuja na conditions zake,
50-50.
Mwanaume anakuja na conditions zake 50-50.
If you can meet, you meet and compromise. If you can't,
wewe kanyaga kwako, wewe kanyaga bigi uende. So there are a lot of things going on right now, and we see it with the millennials. There's a high rate of divorce with the millennials. With the Gen X it's very limited, unless kama umepata single mother, maybe ni bwanake alikufa. But right now with the Gen Zs, single mothers wako wengi, and also men are like, hey, sisi hatuwezi wa single mom. Kama unakuja yangu, game yezi anza ati 2-0. Game inaanza 0-0.
Sijaisikia hiyo batoke.
Wanaume wanasema hivyo. So if you check it out, you find out that ladies wako na conditions zao. Wanaume pia wako na conditions zao. And it's very hard. So from a relationship perspective, how do you think we are going to navigate this?
I think one thing we're struggling to understand is that marriage, or are we talking about relationships?
Relationship, let's just talk about it.
The romantic relationships and marriage, it's all about compromise. That there are a lot of sacrifices to be made. Not the kind of, nikisema sacrifices is kind of a big word, like I exaggerate, but what I mean is that we have to meet in the middle. It's about the man being submissive and the woman submitting, but not like extreme submission from the woman's side. That is how we tend to reason, because let me take an example of the parents of our parents. Walikuwa na hard time kuachana because they knew it was for better for us, till death do us part.
That one does not exist right now.
Till death do us part. That's why our grandparents stayed. Your grandfather can marry up to 8 ladies. Na wazae wote watoto 10 na unaona shosho yako huyo bibi wa kwanza bado wako tu. But for us akiangalia tu kando.
That's
akisema as much as a compliment on another lady, that's already a threat to
a cheating already.
So we are struggling to understand that there's a lot of sacrifices and there's compromise to be made. We have to sit down and tufanye vitu zetu zijulikane, like this is how I want it to be done, this is how you want it to be done. But sasa hii yako hatuwezi fanya because of this and this. Let's sit down and do this. Let us do this and this, because I'm going to feel like I'm kind of betraying my ladies here, but it reaches a point that unataka 50-50, but then ikifika kwa kulipia school fee mtoto unataka bwanako alipe yote. Make it make sense. Kama ni 50-50, so it has to be 50-50. So it's not about like it's a strict line as in hii ni line yangu hii ni side yako. No, it's about compromise. People have to meet in the middle, and then there are things that we kind of saw our parents they are going through. Take examples of Gen X. Mtu anaweza kuwa alikuwa anapigwa na babako, ama anapigwa na mamake. Here even women beat men.
Sijui, but nasikia hata mimi nasikia wengine wananyorosha na stools kwa nyumba.
Yeah, so let me say kupigana because we don't know who is beating at this point.
I don't know who is beating. Si nasikia ati unasikia dem anapiga mwanaume lakini yeye ndiye anapiga nduru.
Yeah.
So sometimes we can't really tell who is beating who.
So hii kupigana, people would pigana and still go back to their parents na mzazi wako anakwambia wewe rudi kwa kina ndoa.
Rudi kwa kina ndoa. Enda utengeneze ndoa yako.
Yeah, go and fix your marriage. Nimesema venye ideologies zetu zimechange right from the baby boomers to the Gen X, the millennials and now us. Because ilifika point watu wakaanza kuona I don't have to stay here forever. Kama napigwa natoka. Kama this woman is cheating on me, I can actually leave. And then I think that was the time we started ndio tukaanza kukua conscious as children. We actually saw, auntie nani aliacha uncle nani. They actually divorced nini. So it was something that we actually grew up getting used to. Ni kitu yenye, and it's in close range. It's not something that unaona kwa TV. It's something that inafanyika around you. Unasikia your mom's friend left her husband. Nani na nani walifanya hivi na hivi. So sisi tuli grow up na mentality ya hii kitu hadi si lazima. And then the way we're continuing to grow, I think the millennials, forgive me for saying this, but the millennials have been the worst the worst role models when it comes to marriage.
Wanaachana.
Vibaya sana.
But even if you check it out right now, you find out that the Gen Z men, they're like right now wanna prefer come stay than
weddings, yeah.
But the ladies wa Gen Z wao wanakuwa na advice ati usiende hapo ukamstay, make sure tumefanya wedding, because kama umeweka hapo ukamstay, this man can literally just leave you,
just throw you away.
Yeah, na anaweza toka tu alafu hata
ama kuache tu na you have invested a lot of your time there, like for 20 years you have just been there, then this guy all of a sudden anakuacha. So make sure kama unaenda kuoana huyu jamaa umefanya wedding. Jamaa pia ako zile za mimi wedding hapana. Wedding ndio mnapata, ndio strategy yenu ya kuchukua mali zetu ukifika time ya divorce. Sasa sisi hatufanyi wedding kama wanaume, we kuja tukamstay. On the other side ladies are like come stay hapana. Wedding is a very good strategy for us. It's a very good strategy for us. So I didn't think as weddings as strategies.
But it's a strategy. If you check most women, even who are rich, most of them, the top rich women, you find out that most of their wealth walipata from
the
divorce. Unapata ati kama ni divorce now, because kama ni divorce you'll find out that they don't just live like that. Wana demand maybe half of the property. Wanasema ati this guy is my husband, here is the evidence.
This kids, company tulianza na yeye.
Kids, maybe I invested hata kama kwanza na company, but now wanaona ati she participated to make sure that maybe this guy can do his work. Now she demands for some properties from this guy, and men are like, wait a minute,
ini mali yangu nachukua hivi.
So some women will be like, okay, ana spot jamaa fulani mwenye ako rich, anakaa na yeye, after 5 years wanafanya divorce. Si vitu zina
but the marriages nowadays are literally really short term.
Yeah, short term. So men
they have like one child. Yeah, by that it actually makes sense what you're saying, because most of the marriages, most of the divorces I'm seeing, unakuwa na mtoto mmoja wameachana.
Hata kama na hiyo divorce, ushaona mwanamke mwenye amefanya divorce na kaenda tu hivyo?
Hakuna by the way.
Si hakuna.
It's not there. I think we're just like fixed minded, and also I think maybe it's their strategy, their way of trying to cope with the way the Kenyan economy is doing us. But my ladies, inatufanya sisi wote ama.
So but which one do you prefer the most? Do you prefer now the come stay or the wedding thing?
Personally, weddings will be it for me.
Yeah, it depends.
Kamustay is not really
who it favors.
Wewe utaniamkia siku moja. Kamustay utaniamkia siku moja na mimi sikwambia ukue hapa. Wewe ulikuja. Wewe ulikuwa unataka kuwa hapa. Yeah, but at least marriage we have an evidence. At least a wedding we have an evidence of marriage.
So I think it's all about who it favors. But for men, marriage,
but it's about compromise. Let's not be fixed minded so much.
I think for wedding it doesn't favors men. It favors ladies. Kamustay doesn't favor ladies. It favors men. So I don't know, we'll compromise.
We need to come up with a way
I don't know,
to meet in the middle.
It's one way or the other. It has to be either one. It has to either be wedding or Kamustay. So I really don't know who's going to compromise. But
if you fail to strike a balance, I think it's just good that mwachania hapo that leading us on. Some of us are really your fans hapo online. You guys post your stuff, we are really rooting for you, alafu tunasikia after one child umeachana.
Wale wa nini? Actually kwa hii mambo ya hapo kwa kupost kwa online, we see it mostly with the millennials. Unapata ya kwamba couples wanaenda wanafanya mambo za vlogging, wanajipost kwa social media, and in most cases it does not end well.
Yes,
unapata ya kwamba watu wenye walianza relationship yao kwa social media, it doesn't end well in most cases. Is there something you want to say about that?
I think social media is, I'm really trying not to say what I want to say, but
it is going to come out though.
Yeah, it wants to come out, so I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay.
I think social media is fake.
Fake?
Yeah. It's not, because you know no one is monitoring you on how you do things. Like right now, I can literally stand here and say, hi, naitwa Cindy, I am a major reporter, I just landed from Britain, and no one will even want to check, as long as the next thing I'm saying is going to grab your attention more than what I said first. I can literally just make a setting here and choose to record a small portion of it and say something like tumetoka shopping and supermarket na kumbe ni vitu za watu nimechukua nikapanga panga. So social media is a lie. And I think most of the people wanajaribu ku live in the lie, live in that lie of social media. Tumegombana asubuhi, but because I'm supposed to be vlogging every Thursday at 2 p.m, kuja tufanye video alafu tuendelee. So we don't, sisi your fans, we don't even spot that there's something wrong. So si tutakuwa tunaonea hapo, and then you people, once you realize that you have fans, the marriage couple that is, wakisha realize that they have fans, they wouldn't want to fail their fans. So despite of everything, watajifanya tu they are okay. And they also want to show us, they also want to give us a depiction of an extravagant life that they don't have. Extravagant things, like a lot of things zimekuwa very exaggerated in social media. And I think that's the major challenge.
What do you think right now has changed in relationships vis-a-vis the past generations like the Gen X? What do you think?
Social media still, but tukiwa kwa hiyo topic, involving a lot of people in what you have as a couple kinda affects it.
Okay.
Because when I genuinely entered a marriage because I was in love, and then I started posting my marriage and stuff, and then I get feminist behavior or feminist people from my page, they'll obviously start to influence the way I think. Hata kama haita show immediately, but the constant comments,
it's going to be very powerful,
our brain, there's a way our brain is wired to something when it's repetitive. Ndio maana ukiwa baby class watu kwanza ABCD mpaka senye utashika until you know the alphabet is A to Z. There's a way it affects our brain when things are repetitive. So I think that sharing too much, like you share, even nowadays people don't have like private relationships.
Watu wanazipost
kila kitu,
hadi mtoi akizaliwa tu hivi, and yes sasa nishaza mtoi,
ati tunaenda kuoga, like we don't have to know that, we also shower hata tunaoga peke yetu. You don't have to show us that you're going to the shower watu wawili. So I think ku involve a lot of people in your stuff, that is where the problem starts to come in. And how are you exposing your marriage to who are you exposing your marriage, that is.
But do now it always start from okay, you guys, you're not going to like this, but let me be honest. Hii mambo ya kushare vitu kwa social media kama couples, unajua venye huwa inaanzanga kupost mtu wako kwa status. That's how it always starts. It gets to Facebook, it gets to YouTube. Okay,
but to their defense, you have to show people that you have someone. Maybe you don't have to, but it's a way of telling you guys, hi, niko na mtu or something.
For what benefit?
I don't know.
So you guys just post. You guys just post at, hey, niko na mtu.
Niko na mtu, I guess. Niko na mtu. No, like happy Valentine's, happy birthday. You know, things like that.
But
happy anniversary.
But kuna venye ukifanya kitu ufikia hapo, you will always like, hey, let me get to the next level. But you won't notice it. But this is how it always starts. Umepost mtoi wako kama umemzaa, next time unampost kama, oh, you see now my baby boy anaweza beba bag, anaanza kutembea, anaanza enda shule. Unapost anaenda shule gani, unapost hey, I've just dropped school bus drop mtoi wangu. And that's how it continues.
I think it's oversharing because sisi wote tunaishi the same life.
You think it should have
there should be a limit?
A limit?
Yeah, there should be a limit.
Because watu pia kama hujapost mtu wako ataanza, wewe mbona unipost wewe? Uko na mtu au nini?
But there should be a limit. We don't have to post everything, as in today mtoto wangu ameenda shule akachapwa, leo mtoto wangu amefanya ina. I don't think it's important. As in well, kama mnaishi vizuri, then it's okay. You don't have to let a lot of people in the way you live, because hapo ndio sawa anaanza kuku-influence. I tend to think that our generation, the Gen Zs, tunakuwa affected so much with the things that people say about us online. Even people who don't know you personally. Mtu anaweza kuwa ametoka from somewhere, he was having a bad day, akapata comment section yake, and she or he saw it as a chance to vent in your comment section. And then wewe utai-take personally, you'll think about it the whole day, hautalala juu ya hiyo comment, utaamka and you start thinking about it. So it has a really negative effect on us. So mine would just be to ease on social media a bit. Sisemi watu wache kupost, but like ukipost inakuwa ni kidogo.
Kuwe na boundary.
Yeah, kuwe na boundary.
Okay, so Cindy, as we wind up, right now, just like you said earlier, Gen Z is like from age 14 to 29. If you look at it carefully, you find that men, in most cases, like right now, most of them are not financially stable, and ladies also have, just like I said, wakona conditional expectations zao. If you ask every lady, they will be like, the man that I want to get married to must be financially stable. Most of men right now are not financially stable. Okay, right now we also have single mothers. I said that earlier, and some of the causes is like the early marriage that is happening in the early 20s, and mostly in early 20s. That is the big cause of it. So as we wind up, is there something that you can say about that maybe there's some things that we need to change as fast as possible as Gen Zs before it gets less? Because literally it's going to get worse with the time, because we are going to have a lot of single mothers, and men are going to be like, no, we are not going to marry you. By the time we were working hard, we wanted to marry, mlituambia ati tukue financially stable. Sasa hivi tumekuwa financially stable, we are not coming for you. So what do you think as Gen Zs, both ladies and men, what do you think right now they should do to ensure that in some few years to come hatujakuwa na hii trauma, hatred and kukua bitter against each other?
Sidhani, I don't think I would want to kuwa separate, because then I would have to pick a side, which I don't want to. So generally I just want to say that we don't have to rush things.
Okay.
Yeah, si lazima you meet this guy when you are 19, ama because you started dating while you are 14, that means that when you reach 19 mnaoana, ama you decide to have a kid. We need to have things planned out. As in, we are getting married at 20 alafu, you are in campus, I'm in campus, wote ni comrades.
Wazazi ndio wanapea.
Tutainama pamoja or what? Like we need to really have our lives planned out ikifika kwa hiyo sector ya marriage and relationships and stuff, because you are saying the single mothers are having kids in their early 20s, even in their teens they were having
even
kids.
The teens, okay.
Even some had kids as early as 18.
But with this very rapid, inaenda raka.
Yes, so much. So we don't have to like fix our minds. It's not the end of the world. Ndio mtu akuje, you meet today, you've started dating the same day you met. Like, give it time. You also need time to learn a person. And that is where a lot of issues are coming inside the marriages, because ulioa mtu too fast, and then unakuja unagundua the kind of person he really is, and unapata hamko compatible, hatuendani, hatuwezendani huyu na huyu. So it doesn't work like that. We really have to take time to plan out and not really rush things. What was the other question?
I think that I have exhausted all my questions. Just to make out my final remark, I think you are done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. This is Kata Story Podcast, and make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and share this video with your friends. I think we will really appreciate that, because that's the only way you can support us. Otherwise, see you in our next episode, and we are out.
Bye.